FluentCart is a new player in the e-commerce business. I'm sure most of you know about WooCommerce. It has been dominating for so many years and is followed by SureCart. But is FluentCart really that good? Can it run our online businesses? Well, I tried it for a little over a month and I have a lot to say. Let's dive in and just take a look at FluentCart. So first of all, I'd like to talk about the UI. When you install FluentCart Pro or FluentCart, you get this dashboard here and it is very, very easy to follow and it's very easy to see where things are. And we have this top navigation here. So if you want to access, let's say, the orders, you'll just click over here and this will list all your orders. And then this will list all your customers, your products. And this is very straightforward. Now, if you take a look at the navigation, when you click over here on the top, there's also a sub navigation here. So under products, we also have published, we also have draft, we also have physical, and then there's this more views. In my opinion, the UI is very clean and very easy to follow because as soon as you go to the dashboard here, you are greeted with all the latest information of how your online store is performing. And over here, it shows you the products, the orders, the revenue, the refunds, if you have any. And I think this is very straightforward. Over here, we have the reports. Now, this part is very, very, very important, especially if you're selling products or services online, because ideally you want to see how your online store is performing. So our first stat here is the last 12 months, how your online business has been running for the last 12 months. And it shows it clearly here. And I like the fact that when you hover over it, it also gives you the value here. Like for example, in this case, it's 102,000. And if you go to the next one, it's 96,000. So it is really nice to see as you hover over items here, you get even more information. Now over here on the quarterly information, if you hover over it again, you get this stats, and this is like 224,000. Now when you scroll further down here, there's also even more information. So as you can see, it sort of like analyzes how your store is performing and throws out all this data here, which is fantastic. Over here on the bottom, you can see all these are all our stats. Now, what I really like is the fact that you can see our data based on the top country gross volume. So as you can see, the United States here is dominating pretty much in all these months. And this is an easy way of just taking a quick look and seeing where most of your customers are coming from without going into spreadsheets or any of that information. And again, I really like this. Here's our top country net volume. So there's a lot of stats we can deal with. Now, we're not done yet. This is just the overview. Notice what happens when you come over here to sales. So on the sales here, we have these little tiny graphs, which just gives you an idea of how the store is performing. So your refunds here, you can see 170K. Okay, it's been going up and then it started going down. Well, that's really nice, but we can visually see what is happening. And when we hover over these little graphs, it also gives you the values. I mean, look at this. This is 16.4K and that's 2025. 2024, it was 52.2 and so on. So visually, all this actually functions and it's real data. And this is something we don't see in any of these other e-commerce platforms. Here you can see your top sold products. Now it may look like this is not very important information, but this will give you an idea of where to add even more of your marketing budget based on what you're seeing here. It could be that you're spending so much money on the casual classic hoodie, but Air Max 97 is actually selling more. So this is where you can shift your focus to that particular product. And this is automatically generated based on performance. Further down here, we also have our sources. So you can see here, one-time payments is the biggest, and then we have our subscription, and then we have renewals. Again, this gives you a quick bird's eye view as to what is happening on your site. And this continues on. We have orders, we also have revenue, we have refunds, subscription, products, and so on. So this is very, very easy and very clear to see what is happening on your site. Next, we have the settings. Now, on the settings page, this is where you get to add everything about your store. And I like the fact that once you set everything up here, it's set once and for all and everything is all done. So in setting everything up, you get your store name, the logo, and this is where you get to specify whether your store is in live mode or test, your address, and once you add that, you go to your page setup. And again, your pages are all automatically generated, but if you want to go to them manually, you can go in here and locate them manually and just tie it to the shop page and so on. Now, once all these pages are created, it is very easy now for your store to, for example, let's say someone goes on the shop page, they'll purchase something, and then they'll see the cart page, and then they'll see the receipt, and then they'll see the checkout page. So all these pages are very important, but very, very easy to create. So we also have the product page. So here is where you specify how you want things to be. So whether you want to enable Zoom in a single product, you can just go ahead and set it all up like that. Your checkout fields. Now, this is very important because sometimes it may be that the information you want to collect from your customers is just the name and email because you're selling digital products. Then you can come over here and disable what you don't need. So for example, we might not need the billing address here. You can just say not required, not required, not required, and so on. So all we need is going to be the full name and email address, and this is required by default, as you can see. Now, if at any stage you want to collect the phone number for whatever reason, you can just activate that, and now this becomes a required field when someone checks out. So we also have the shipping address. So we have the billing on the top, and then we have the shipping address as well. Again, if you're not shipping anything, you can just disable this. This is for your physical products. Payment settings. This is very, very important, especially if you're selling from different parts of the world. So by default, we have Stripe and PayPal. Now, this is the most popular, but we also have pay cash upon delivery. And I really like this idea because it could be that your services do not require anyone to pay online and they can pay on delivery, and then you can just manually update it. We also have Paystack. We have Paddle, Molly. So some of these are coming soon, like Razorpay, Square, Authorize.net, and Airwallex. So I like that they're heading towards supporting a lot of these payment gateways, because ideally, if this is going to compete with SureCart and WooCommerce, then it needs to have all those payment options. And I'm glad that all this is coming soon. And then obviously over here, we have our invoicing and packaging. You can go in and customize all of that. We have our tax and duties. So this just makes sure that wherever you are, especially like, for example, I'm in the UK, you need to enable all your shipping costs. If you have your VAT, you can add your VAT number over here, and there's a lot of information that you can update over here. We also have information about the European Union as well. Further down here, we have your email configuration, roles, storage and shipping, features and add-on. Now over here on the features and add-on, this is very, very important. Now, let's say you're a content creator or you're a software developer and you'd like to sell your products using FluentCart. You can have product licensing built into FluentCart. And this is amazing. So to activate it, all you need to do is to come over here. Boom. Now that's already active. Order bump. If you want to add order bumps to your cart, you can just activate it here, save settings, and pretty much you are good to go. Now, if you have purchased the paid version, you can just come over here to add your license key, and pretty much you are good to go. Now, I know I've spoken a lot about how things are here and how the UI is. The question now is, how easy is it to set up our products? Why don't we do this on a website that is live? So we are now going to go to Divi University. So over here, I want to create a brand new product, and this is a real product going to be released in the next couple of days. I want to say add new product. I'm going to give this product a title. It's going to be called Crafter. So in fact, let me just call it Crafter A, because I think I've set this up already. Next, I'm going to say, okay, this is going to be a digital product. And then I'm going to say add product. So we've done the first step. Now this is asking for my description, and notice how easy this is. I'm just going to copy this and paste my description here. And then let's pretend this is my long description. Next, I need to add my media. So I'm going to click in here and then upload a an image. I'm going to go to select files, and I know I got files in my downloads, and here it is. Double click on that, and then I'm going to say use this media. Okay, great. So now I've added my image. I'm going to scroll further down here because this is where things get really, really exciting. So we have two options here for our pricing. We can add simple variations, or we can just go with simple. So how does this work? So for simple, I can just go in and add my price. Now this is going to go for $77. Now there's no compare price, and this is a one-time fee. So you pay it once and pretty much you're good to go. On the downloadable assets, this is where I can go in and link this to a product. So as you can see here, it's activated. I'm just going to say add, and then I'm going to come over here now and choose the file. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not going to upload a brand new item here. I'm just going to go in and set something that's already there. But in your case, if this is brand new, you click here on upload, and then this will upload the file, and then it gets added over here. So I'm going to go ahead and say confirm, save asset. Great. So now that I have that, if you wanted to calculate profit and loss, you can always go there and set it up. But in this case, I don't need to do that. All right. So over here on the top, if this product is ready to go, you can just go in and say publish. Click on update, and now our product has been updated. Next, I'm going to come over here, and this also helps. Let's choose our categories. And in this case, this is, okay, let's call it a framework. And then over here on the brands, this is under Divi. Okay, so let's say I have templates or any products that are going to be under Elementor or Etch or whatever it is. I can just add the brands here, so it's easier for people to look for these products. So now that I have all this, we also have more actions over here on the top. So let's say you want to do a quick preview of this product. You can just click on preview, and then it opens up in a new tab. And here it is. That's our product. That's our price. If I click on add or buy now, this now takes me to my checkout page. Look at that. So this is connected to link. My card details are already there. I can say use this card, place order, you're good to go. I mean, do you see how easy that was? Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, will this really go through? Well, definitely it will go through, because you know what? For some of you, I know you've been purchasing my products, especially the DV5 Mastery, and you know, everything is going through. But you see, what I also find very exciting about this is once you create a template, you can get your page headings to look like this. And over here, I set this as an order bump. So you can just add it like that. And notice that it has calculated this and has added and updated this. I mean, this is really fast, and it is, you know, like really cool. Look at that. So now that we have added that, I want to show you also the other type of pricing that we can add. And this is one of the features that I also really, really like. So I can come over here and say simple variations. So with simple variations now, I can add different types of pricing structures. So for example, Crafter A here, price 77. I want to add another one. Okay. So I'm going to click on add more. So here I am going to say lifetime. So you see now we have this drop down. We have one time and then subscription. So I'm just going to say this is a lifetime order. I'm going to say, okay, 77. Okay. Back to 77. I'm going to save that. Okay, so this is now the lifetime. I'm going to go back to this one now, and I'm going to change this to subscription. But on the subscription here, I'm going to lower the price to say 37. And this can be yearly. Now, when I click here on this drop down, you have yearly, half yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and so on. So if you have, let's say, a membership, you can make it monthly, you can make it every 6 months. It's pretty much up to you. All the options are all here. And these are the features that I find very, very exciting with FluentCart. Next, we also have this enable installment payment. So let's say you have a really high price here and you'd like to split the payment. You can go in here and split the payment and decide how many, if there's any trial days. Let's say you want to add trial days. You can add 7 trial days here. Again, that is a very, very good option. So installment count here, let's say you want to make it 3 installments. So this will automatically calculate this and multiply this value by 3. So let's say this was £7, or let's say 10, right? So the total price now becomes 30. So every month, in fact, let's come over here and change this to monthly. So every month they're going to be charged $10 until it gets to 30, and they get 7 days trial. I mean, do you see how easy this is? I mean, this is fantastic. If you want to add a setup fee, you can go ahead and say, okay, one-time setup fee is going to be, let's say, $100. So look at these ideas. Let's say you are a web developer and someone has bought the software from you. You could say, setup fee, $100. And then to maintain it, it's $5 a month. And this is where you'd add your monthly subscription here. So these different ways of setting up your online store is just very, very exciting. So let's say we're happy with this. I can just click on update and pretty much I'm good to go. Now let's take a look and see what this looks like when I come over here and look and go to preview. You'll notice that we now have installment, and it clearly says 7 days free and then $10 per month for 3 months. Very clear. So if someone is going to purchase this, it's very easy for them to see what they're going for. Now, if it is a one-time, they can click here and you can see it just says lifetime 77, and then you can just click on buy now. And that will take you straight to your checkout page. So I know previously we tested this one time. Let's see what happens when we say buy now on the installment. So when I scroll down here, you can see this is our short description, $10 per month for 3 months, trial 7 days. So it also has this little summary over there. And I really, really like this. This is fantastic. So notice that it's not taking any money. Do you know why? It's because we have the trial for 7 days. That's why. So after 7 days, it then starts charging. And this is genius. I really, really like this. And of course, if you want to add this one-time offer, you can just go in and go for Crafter presets. And now it's at $42, and it has applied our discount, which is 10% off. I mean, this is really, really cool. Now, let's say you have a community, because FluentCart was created by the same company that created Fluent CRM, Fluent Community, Fluent Booking, and Fluent Support. So these products really integrate well together. Now, I know some of you may not know this, but I'm running this online community and it is called DV University. In fact, let's just go to the website here so I can show you how this works. So if I go to the community here, you'll notice that there's a lot of people here. If we go to members, you know, there's a lot of members that have signed up. I mean, look at this. This goes up to 95. So the total members here is 2,275. So it's a massive, massive membership of Divi users. And I highly recommend you go and join as well, because there's a free community over here. Of course, it's a paid membership, but there's also a free community. So let's say you want that when someone purchases that product, they are also added to the community automatically, so that they can get support for their product. Well, how do you do that? There's a clever integration, and I want to show you how this actually works. Now, do you see we have a tab here on our product, Crafter A? It's called integrations. So if I click on that, I can go to the top here and add integration. So let's say I want this integration to be Fluent Community. I can select that. So I want to say when someone purchases this, because this is the trigger, okay? So I can set my trigger here and I'm going to say order paid. And this order is for Crafter A, this particular product. Okay, these are the settings for this particular product. So now I can say add to spaces. So I'm going to say add to the Divi community free. And I also want to provide technical help because they've just purchased my product. So I'm going to say tech help community. Okay. Next, I may have a course that shows them how this product is used. Again, I can add them to courses. I'm going to say, okay, SiteKrafter Pro. And I'm also going to give them as a bonus the DV5 Mastery course. If they are in default spaces, I can remove them from spaces because I've upgraded them. And I can also remove them from courses and so on. I can also mark the community profile as verified. This is just a nice thing to do. You know that check mark you get, like, let's say, for example, when you use Twitter, that's what this is about. So we've already set our trigger here. I'm going to say now, create Fluent community feed. Now, that alone has automated my complete system. If someone purchases Crafter A, they're going to be added onto the communities. They're going to be added to the course. I mean, what more can you ask for? This is what really drew me closer and closer to FluentCart, because this integration, especially if you're someone like myself who runs an online business single-handedly, you want as much automation as possible. And this was made possible using this combination of FluentCart and Fluent Community. Okay, so let's say they've purchased a product and you want to send them emails, automated emails or offers via email. This is where this integration comes in. So this integration here is Fluent CRM. Just like before, we can decide what tags we want to add to them when they purchase, and this can be done over here. Now, this tag is going to be used later on in the automation. So let's say you want the customer, after they've purchased, you want to send them a thank you email, and then you also want to give them, let's say, an email to say, hey, you know what? You can go to this page, that page, that page, and we also have an offer. All these emails can be set up over here through Fluent CRM, but we have to start with a tag. So I'm going to start off with, let's say I give them this tag called SiteKrafter. Now, I know I should have created the tag earlier on, but I'm just going to use what we have here. So these are the lists, by the way, and then the tags are further down here. So let's say the tag is lifetime member. Okay. I'm going to go further down here, and then if I need to remove them from specific lists, I can remove them. Perhaps maybe they were like in a free list, which is free members. I can remove them from that because now I want them added to the lifetime membership. So ideally, you don't want to have tags pretty much all over the place. So they can just have that updated. Okay. You can remove from tags, you can remove from lists. So again, I think I have a free one here. Okay, member. Let's remove that tag called member. There's an option for double opt-in, but of course, if someone is purchasing a product, there's no need for double opt-in. So I normally remove that. So event trigger. How does this trigger get started? Well, there's quite a few options here. You notice that we have order paid, order canceled, order refunded, and so on. So I'm going to go with order paid. Okay, so that's what's going to start or kickstart this automation. So once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and say create Fluent CRM feed. Now, I don't want to create this feed because this was just for demo purposes only. Now, at any given time, if you don't want to enable this, you can go ahead and disable it, at any given time. So that's how easy this is. So there's more. There's also these upgrade paths. So let's say someone has purchased the product or one of these products, and in this case, we want to move them from one plan to another plan. So here we have several. We have Crafter A monthly. Okay, so let's say we want to move them from the monthly to the paid, which is the lifetime, right? We can prorate this as well. Here we can just decide what discount you want to give them. And let's say we were going to give them a 20% discount or a $20 discount. Now, I wish they would have added a percentage discount here as well, because you can market it easier. But anyway, this will do for now. So why would we do this? You may ask. Let's say a customer has purchased this product. They're loving it and they want to upgrade to the lifetime membership. So if you go with prorate, let's say they've paid 3 months and it's at $10 each. So it'll say 77, which is the lifetime, minus the 3 months that you've paid, and now you'll pay 47. So that's how the prorate works. And this is fantastic. This will make sure that your store is going to pretty much stay healthy, because if you have a fantastic product, people would like to upgrade. And I wish a lot of these online stores or online services has this feature. This is brilliant. So I'm going to say save for now. And pretty much we have this. Now, there's also other services and features like the coupon. How do we add a coupon to this? Well, to create a coupon, it's very, very easy. In fact, let me do it on a non-working website. Okay, in fact, let's do it here. Why not? We're on Div University anyway. We're going to come over here now to more and then click on coupons. So as you can see, I have quite a few here. Let's create a brand new one. I'm going to click on add coupon. So I'm going to say Black Friday, 30%. On the coupon code here, I can say BLK30. So that's going to be the 30% off. Coupon priority, I'm going to leave that as it is. And then over here now we have our discount details. And I like the fact that you can go with fixed or percentage. Now my favorite is percentage. I'm just going to say 30% here and then max discount. Okay, I'll leave that as it is. So here we have further customizations. Let's say you want to give discounts on a minimum spend. So let's say the minimum spend is 77, maximum spend. I mean, you can go in and fill this in and then you can include the categories. If it's courses, you can say, okay, you have a discount on courses and it's 30%, but you also have a discount on, let's say, memberships or templates and so on. So you can go in and stack all these as much as you want. And over here we have our maximum discount uses. So let's say total limit, you want to, let's say, give this discount to the first 100 people. You can go ahead and set that up. You know, this is so flexible. Next, we also have additional information here. You can enable it, you can disable it. I mean, if you want it stackable, you can also activate that. So let's say you've set this up and pretty much you're good to go. What if you would like to set it up for a specific period? Well, if you take a look over here to the right, you're going to notice that you can have this set end date and time. So the start date could be tomorrow, Black Friday, okay? And you want to set the end date and you want to set to Monday, okay? Because that's going to be Cyber Monday. Or perhaps maybe you can do Tuesday. I want to say, okay, create. Now you notice that the status now is scheduled. I mean, isn't that cool? You can create all these ahead of time and just set up and forget. You set it up once and pretty much you are good to go. Now, I know there's a part of the software licensing that you may want to see, especially if you are someone that's creating products that might need a license. So let's go back in here and we need to go to settings first, features and add-on. And you can see here it's inactive. So we need to make sure that this is activated for this to work. I'm going to say save settings. And by the way, you also have stock management. If you want to manage your stock, you can activate that. This is usually great if you are selling physical products. So we're going to go ahead and save that as well. Okay, so back to our products. I'm now going to go to Crafter A. And when I scroll down, you can see now we have inventory management. So now I can go in and say total stock. I can go in and set my total stock here. And for the lifetime, let's cancel this. Now, of course, this only works, or it makes a lot of sense if this is a physical product. I don't think you want to do this on a non-physical product. Okay. Now, you may have not noticed this, but on the top here, now we have license settings. This is because we set it up on the settings of FluentCart. Now I can go in and activate this. Look at this. We now have the ability to set up our activation limit. So let's say this needs to be on, let's say, one website. Here we can set this to, let's say, 3 websites for the lifetime. You can add your version number here. You can also add your prefix for the license key, right? So we can say the prefix is going to be SK. We also have the changelog. And I mean, isn't this cool? Finally, it's asking here, is this a WordPress plugin? Now you can add your changelog URL, banner URL, icon URL, and the required PHP version. This is optional, and required WP version again is optional. And once you're happy with that, you go ahead and click on update. And I know there is an error here because I haven't filled in this information. Okay, but you see how easy this is to create. This is fantastic. So this can be version 1.0, and we're just going to save this for now. And you can see here it's successfully saved. Now, this is very, very powerful for an e-commerce platform. Now, this has not been even released for that long, and already out of the box, we have quite a lot of features. Does that mean that it's perfect? Absolutely not. There's features like variations. Let's say you have a product and you let's say it's t-shirts. You have a blue t-shirt, red, black. So those variations, that feature is not there yet, but I've spoken to the CEO of FluentCart, and he's told me that there's going to be a very exciting update regarding that. It's going to be called Advanced Variations. And again, this is very exciting news because there's a roadmap as to what's coming up very, very soon. Upsells and downsells. This is a must for any online e-commerce platform. Again, this feature is in the pipeline. It's coming very soon. What about for us Divi users? Are we able to use FluentCart? Yes, we are, but we're a bit limited. You know why? Because with WooCommerce, it has all these modules that we can just go in, pull in, drag, put it in, customize it and so on. But I've been assured that we are going to have something very exciting for Divi very, very soon. So if you purchase this using my affiliate link, I'm going to have templates for online stores that you can access and download as a bonus. And this is really, really exciting. Now, I also have something that I want to talk to you about. For FluentCart, I've specifically created a course called Sell Online. This course is going to cover quite a lot. I'll be covering how to sell digital products because I've already done it on Divi University. I'm actually selling digital products and it's working. I would like to show you how I'm actually doing it with all the email automations. The whole setup is going to be part of the course. I'll also show you how to sell physical products. I'll also have templates. I'll also set up how to do a booking website. So purchasing this is going to give you access to a lot of training. And not only that, the CEO is going to keep an eye on the group as well and make sure that you have full support if you fall into any problems. Isn't that amazing? So this product is fully covered. You're going to get full support. And for anyone that purchases this using my affiliate link, I will give you access to the online course. And there's also a community, this Sell Online community. Look at that. Now, it's not up yet because we are still setting up a few things, but this is going to start very, very soon. And it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very exciting with full support. So all you need to do is to head over to the link that I provided in the video description below. You'll need to add your email so that I know where to send your bonuses and set up all your profiles so that when you purchase it and you verify your license, your receipt number, then I will give you access to this. Now, you may be thinking, well, this lifetime deal, is it really worth it? On the first glance, it may look like this is very, very expensive, right? $249 for a single site, $499 for 5 sites, $799 for 15 sites. That's ridiculous. Let me tell you something. Do you know that setting up an e-commerce website for a client, you can charge at least $2,000 US? That's on the cheaper side, $2,000. That's already covering your 15 websites. So you can make a profit. So when you purchase this, I know this is a lifetime deal and I did this before as well. If you miss out on this, it's going to be a yearly membership. So you'll have to pay every single year. And they don't normally do these lifetime deals. Once you miss this, that's it. It happened on Fluent CRM, and I have a lot of people that came to me afterwards and started saying, Mac, can you arrange for us to get a lifetime deal, please? I've now used the Fluent CRM and it's fantastic. But once the lifetime deal is gone, it's pretty much gone. Here we also have the offer for 50 site licenses. This is what I would go for, and I'll tell you why. Even if you don't start designing your websites today or now, you can make your money back by just designing one website. You are going to have full support, and you also have the option here to pay $99 over 12 months. You can design one website and just pay this off. This is how you need to be thinking. And I'm telling you, this price here is fantastic. So please go ahead, purchase this. You have my word. You'll have full support from me as soon as you purchase this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.